This is a Headgum podcast.
Do you mind if I'm just gonna make myself a cold brew real quick and take either one of these seats? Don't tell me. Let me be surprised. Oh boy! And you can start.
Oh, okay.
Let's start talking.
I'll just start talking. Let's see here. What to talk about? I guess I'll sit here. This one seems pretty good. Maybe we can do a fun thing, where while I'm waiting, we come in and out of the audio and maybe kind of do a little thing where it comes in and out of it. Maybe that'll be fun. Maybe that'll be a fun thing. Maybe you can hear. It was Rage Against the Machine. Here we go.
Ooh.
Fishbone. Can you hear that?
Great. I like it. Do I need headphones to hear it? I put my phone on buzz.
Oh yeah, let me do the.
It's funny because you can.
This better be funny.
Well, it's relative. Funny is relative.
I know.
It's you can always tell when there's a new sponsor because when you go to the fridge, it's just like loaded with Mike's Hard Lemonade or whatever that new one of those new sodas is that they try to.
Poppy.
That's one. There's like 9 of them.
Poppy.
Yeah,
there should be one. I don't know why the first name.
Oh, get your mic up there if you can. Well,
right here.
I mean, Chris, is that going to be?
I'll need to.
Yeah.
Wow, look at those cameras. Really nice.
Nice.
This seems like a good
PFX 140.
A good mic.
Shinden PFX 140 mics. Oh, do you want a thing? Oh no, you're good.
Should I put headphones on? Does it matter?
You don't have to.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I guess it doesn't.
What do you?
How's that? That's pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You know, let me be so I can see you. All right. What is the point of this anyway?
I have no idea.
I think
it is just decorative. It is, right?
I think it's just decorative.
And what's on the bottom here, so you don't accidentally?
Just to let everyone know, it's
There's no plug.
Headgum.
I think I can still hear you.
So this is. You know what? This is like a design that's left over from when it was necessary. They probably stopped doing them, and people went, "Hey, where's the cube at the end?" And so they had to start making cubes, even though they don't serve a practical purpose. It's like the click sound in a car when you on your turn signal. That is it used to be the sound came from a real thing. Then they took it away when they came up with electronics. This is for real.
When you say the sound came from a real thing, what do you mean?
Whatever, something inside the car in the 30s, 40s, 50s that made a clicking sound for your directional. And then whenever, I don't know, 70s, 80s, they came up with the computer chip thing,
right,
to send the light signal, and then people were like, "Hey, it's not making a sound." And they're like, "Oh yeah, you don't need it because and people were like, "I want the sound back."
I like the sound back. I like I like the sound that.
Yeah, so it's in there, just even though you don't need it.
I'm also curious if there's if the sound, much like all the sounds we have now, like with our phones and alerts, if that was researched, what's the most pleasing? First it was just. And then are there variations of that, like doot, 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 doot?
Well,
are they all just clicks without?
It's like the old Garmin, the MapQuest type things where you get them for your car. Like I think one was named Tomcat or something like that, and Garmin, and then you could get like fake celebrity voices, and I think the click clacks used to be like Joan Rivers, go, "Mwah, mwah, mwah, mwah," like things like that. And different people like Red Fox. So that was an option for a while in some of the cars. The SEL Night X package.
Yeah.
Click, click.
I
Pauly
had a
Shore.
really-
Click, 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 click.
The click.
Rob Schneider. Clicky, clicky.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
you just go on forever.
I had a really stupid old idea for like some kind of GPS thing called Magellan. And it just, the voice, I turn a left to here. Are you missing a turn? What are you doing? Hey.
That's pretty, you're right. It's pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
Pretty bad idea. I'd love to see you go into the offices and go and just pitch that idea.
Go into the offices of just like
Well, there is like a GPS, Magellan, thing.
There really is a Magellan one,
Yeah.
right? Hey guys, I should just tell my reps, just get me a meeting with Magellan. Just
Yeah.
tell them I have an idea to pitch. Don't tell them what it is, and then I'll just show up and I'll be dressed like a Magellan. Get a really good costume.
And then fight them, then assume that if they don't like the idea, it's because you would be doing the voice. And you're like, no, I'm just giving you an example. We would hire,
Yeah,
like,
we'll get someone good. We'll
Yeah.
get, we can even,
Chris Pratt.
or I would even say, let's, whoever is the best, like, Italian actor, let's not take a job away from Italian actors. Let's give this to an Italian.
Right.
And so I understand, if your reservation, it's not going to be me. I just put the costume on.
Mhm. To help you out.
Yeah, I want you to visualize it. I did some research. Like I worked on my accent. I think it's close. Hey, what do you do? Like,
Yeah.
I imagine that's what Magellan probably. We're gonna go this way.
Yeah.
No, you'll follow the sun at the compass. So,
Yeah.
but we'll get an Italian. Don't
Yeah, that's the way to do it. And I learned when I was in Italy, I went to Bologna with Amber. And
Who's Amber?
she is my current wife.
Okay.
She's pretty good. Pretty good.
She's Italian.
Is she what?
She's Italian.
No. But we went there because we both like mortadella.
Got it.
And I learned that in Italian, I didn't know this until that trip, they pronounce every letter that's in the word. So, you know how we have silent K's inside? They don't have any silent letters. They pronounce everything. They pronounce might be a silent E at the end. It's not silent to them. And I think that's very telling.
In what way?
They're loud. They're chatty. They're resourceful.
I was going to say, yeah, that's they're
not wasting any.
Yeah, don't waste a letter. Don't
why do I
waste
have
a
to-
sound. Don't waste an opportunity.
There's no knuckle that's just Nuckle. So
Knuckle.
why? But you know what I mean in English.
Do you want a knuckle sandwich?
Yeah, that's right.
That's the other nice thing about Magellan is,
You learn. It's a learning opportunity.
well, it also, what we would program it is you'd get directions, but
Mhm.
then it would also sense like, make a left turn here, next to right 100 yards. Are you hungry? Stop and get some food. Don't forget to hydrate.
I don't know about that part. Personally, I don't know. That might be a turnoff to me, unless there's a way to turn that aspect of the thing off.
Yes, there is always, you can turn those features, you can turn off the features that you don't want.
Okay. So you're saying it's a bonus. It's part of the package. You can take it or leave it.
Correct. But
Is-
it forces you, you have to speak to it. If you want to turn it off, you have to speak to it in Italian. So it actually, to put this feature on there, it actually forces you to learn a language, or at least learn segments of a language. Like you can learn how to say, I don't want that, or turn that feature off, Magellan. And you always have to call it Magellan.
Okay.
Magellan,
Out of
turn that off,
respect?
please. I think so.
Yeah.
You know, he's a great explorer,
Right.
circumnavigator. I don't know if that's the proper term. A circumnavigatore.
I think probably navigator.
Yeah,
I think if you circumnavigate something, you're going around, you're avoiding it.
got it.
I think. I don't know Italian or maritime law, but I think it's that.
That was a really good lull right there, and I was hoping you were not. We would just the rest of the podcast would just be silence and just the occasional just.
If this was just visual, then yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do that. Be like the Patience episode of Wondershowzen.
Wondershowzen.
Oh, genius.
Incredible. I was just telling someone about slaves built the pyramids.
Yeah, we were
Slaves.
talking. One of the fairly recent guests, not too long ago, we were talking about Wondershowzen.
It was Edie Modica.
Edie, yes. That's what was so fascinating. You know, we're both old and we run into these kids. And by kids, I mean, 20s, early 30s, whatever. And she was talking about how she watched that in middle school, watched Wondershowzen, and knew that it was interesting because she's like, wait a second. Like she was old enough to know this is, I don't think the level of subversiveness, but it wasn't, it was like an adult thing, but it was still a kid's thing. But it was really interesting to hear her take on it because it never even occurred to me that when we were making it 20 plus years later, there'd be kids watching it as a kid's show, and she ended up PAing or interning on Harchie Holler.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You were on that, right?
I did a couple episodes of it. Did she
tell
them? Did she talk to those guys about it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. It was really interesting. And then the fact that they did a segment, I don't know if it's because they ran out of time or whatever, but they did the horse apple segment and then just dedicated a whole show to horse apples.
Horse apples was, I would always tell those guys, please, or not tell them, but beg them, like, please just do a horse apples show.
They did. That was your idea.
Well, I'm sure they were already thinking of it, but for me, just as a fan, I just wanted to see a whole episode of just all that just dumb shit. And I think it's sort of Harchie Holler maybe was the version of it, not really horse apples.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's adjacent to that. It was like, gosh, I don't know. It was like if Mary Hartman was, like Mary Hartman.
Whatever else you're going to say, this is the perfect analogy.
Yeah, I mean, it is it's taking the piss out of those soap operas, but it's also a soap opera, and Harchie Holler had a whole story to it, and you didn't know, you had to investigate and figure out what was going on, but it was kind of surreal, fantastic, but kind of loosely based in Appalachian, dumb certitude.
Do you know the thing in Wondershowzen where I think they focus grouped horse apples with that like group of guys, and then they brought them in later and showed them the episode where they're focus grouping?
Yeah, they did that. That's a thing. You can see that, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
it was it was in one of the episodes, I believe. And what they did was so when they brought these guys back, they put me in the room with them.
Mm-hmm.
I was in horse apples.
Yeah.
So they put me in the room with I had a disguise and was just supposed to be like another guy. And it was, I remember we drove out, I can't remember where it was, maybe in New Jersey somewhere. We went to some mall. I put my disguise on. We went to the place. I was so scared that they were going to, at some point, someone was going to like watching, once they realized they were watching themselves.
Right.
And that they were being fucked with.
Yes.
I was waiting for some kind of either like, hey, what the fuck's going on here? Yeah. And then I was waiting for them to like somehow hold on a second. That guy you're in a disguise. And then they were going to beat the shit out of me or something. I was really nervous that I was going to get the shit beat out of me. And then also I just tried to keep quiet because I felt like once I started talking, I'd have to, so who are you? How come you weren't here last time?
Mhm.
Where do you live? Where are you from? And I'd have to create
What was the purpose of you being there? Just for the off chance that they might recognize you?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think it was just to see what happens if. And it was funny for a little bit, and then I was genuinely nervous about getting beat up or having some kind of confrontation.
Sure.
But nothing happened, and not only did nothing happen, they all just seemed amused by it,
Right.
which was kind of great that they weren't
Yeah.
mad.
That's-
Although I can't tell where they just, I don't know, they all
It's
just
like,
rolled.
do you ever
with it.
see Impractical Jokers?
Very little of it?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I can watch, 5 episodes in a row. I really enjoy it, but there are occasions where I'm like, that's fucking risky. That is really risky. and I'm just surprised that somebody didn't just clock one of those guys.
Has that ever happened and they just haven't aired it? I can only imagine. I don't know, and I
don't
watched.
think so. I know those guys now. I did an episode COVID era, and I had a blast. It was really fun. And what I really love about the show is they just fuck with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like punking, an innocent person, but you can see sometimes they shot a bunch of stuff at Fairway, the grocery store.
In Red Hook or the Upper
I think
West
Red Hook,
Side?
because I recognize the not the one on 23rd or in Manhattan.
Right.
I'm pretty sure it was the one in Red Hook. And you can, and also it's New York, so people just, there's not the thing that people in other regions might give somebody the benefit of the doubt or be a little more polite about something, and there's just kind of a, what the fuck's your problem?
Yeah.
People like an old lady, which I admire, which is not letting them get away with this weird thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched too much of it. I still, that kind of stuff, I don't know. I don't love it. It still feels
Well,
like
they're fucking with
there's a
themselves.
level, but they're still fucking with other people. Like, it's making people uncomfortable and doing shit. They're not necessarily the butt of the joke, but I don't know. It still feels like
I think they're very careful about, nobody is at any time is in any danger. They're not really being made fun of. When you step back from it, there are these challenges. There are things that you and I and our friends, our peers, have done with each other multiple times, where you're not hurting somebody. You're just kind of messing with them. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. It's like getting in an elevator and there's a stranger and
right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, the guy, whatever, you can make a dumb joke you want, but it still feels like this level of making people uncomfortable. I don't know.
Well, there is a degree
not for me. Not for me. I'll just say.
Okay, there's a degree of discomfort because it's odd. What was the one? They send somebody. They kind of have these challenges that if there's one loser out of the 4 or 5 of them, and then the loser has to do this real kind of much more, I don't want to say risky, but putting yourself out there kind of thing,
right.
Where, you have to get 4 people to agree to do this thing and, or to say yes, or whatever the thing is. And, I don't know. I just, it's about the kind of air quote safest of those pranking shows. I think it's clever. They're great. And
they're very nice guys.
They are. And it's not about, it's less about fucking with that person over there and fucking with the person you're sending over of your friends to go. And again, it's stuff you and I have definitely done it a million times. You know the thing where I made a bit out of it, where we were in Seattle for Bumbershoot and I got the S&M mask from the sex store and I wore it on the plane. That's kind of a thing, right?
I guess so. It still feels like that reminds me there was a Second City touring company when I was doing it, and there was just some like really awesomely, hilariously terrible like perm wig in the prop bag.
Right.
And they all took turns, like they were at the back of the plane, and they all took turns like, all right, everyone has to take a turn putting the wig on and just walk to the front of the plane, down the middle of turn around and walk back. Don't make eye contact with anyone. Just looking straight ahead.
I love that.
And then they'd go back, and then the next person would go.
Sure.
Like something like that seems, I don't know, I guess that's still that Impractical Jokers level of, but
yeah,
it's still,
it's
they're not engaging anybody, which is why it felt funnier, and Impractical Jokers still felt like it's.
Well, they're definitely engaging people. I mean, that's part of what it would be kind of boring if it was just, hey, put on this wig and walk back and forth.
I agree with that, but it still feels like it's got, because of that, it just, I don't know, it's not my.
Okay.
Let's agree to disagree on Impractical Jokers.
Well, there's no I'm not disagreeing with you. That's your take on it, and I'm saying I don't have that experience.
Yeah.
So that's not a disagreement. You're not saying the show's bad.
It's just, it's not.
You're saying it's not for you.
It's not for me.
Yeah.
Do you say data or data? Like one of them is on the Star Trek show, I know. Well, at my house we say data, and for the longest time I thought paying a fortune on my monthly data plan was just normal. That wasn't until I found out about Mint Mobile and their premium wireless plans that start at just $15 a month. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile, or Mobile, is here to rescue you. All plans come with high-speed data, or Tatu, your choice, and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile from $15 a month. No matter how you say it, don't overpay for it. Shop data plans at mintmobile.com/senses. That's mintmobile.com/senses. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month 5 GB plan required. It's the equivalent to about $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
What kind of show is for you?
I don't know what I haven't really watched. I'm trying to think of
Below
something.
Deck. You like Below Deck?
What's Below Deck?
Stop it. Stop it. Don't even pretend.
I really don't watch shows. What is Below Deck? Is this a reality show?
Huh. That's interesting that you grabbed that out of the air of all the genres of show. No, it's anime. It's like manga?
Sure.
Make America not great again. It's a reality show about people who work on, they're like private cruises, right? Like small yachts.
Yeah. Like
And it's different people who come in, right? Different people like, oh, you've got so it's not a massive yacht. It's not a cruise, carnival cruise type thing, but it is it's for wealthy people. And it's just all oh God. Hang on.
Amber.
It's Amber, yeah. Hey, hang on. Let me put you on speaker.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
I hope she
hello?
talks Italian.
Hey, what's up?
Do you have a second?
Sure. I'm doing a podcast with Glaser, but yeah, we can. What do you need?
Were you talking to an Italian accent?
I really feel like
Talking an Italian accent,
if you
please.
could just take me off. I think Glaser's like a real piece of shit, and
Yeah.
I think you should try to cancel. Like, if you could stop the interview. Can you get him out of the room?
Amber, you're not telling this, and now everybody's going to think this is a bit. And I asked you to call.
I blew it. I blew it.
Subtlety.
And I couldn't come up.
Honey, subtlety.
No, I have a question about summer vacation. Hi, Glaser. Call me later. Bye.
Okay, bye.
A show I haven't watched it in a while, but a show that I really enjoyed was Alone.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, Amber got me into that.
That's an incredible.
I really like that show.
So good.
That's a reality show.
Yeah.
But it's also real reality.
Yeah.
And Below Deck is just bullshit drama, made up shit, you know. So it's that's why I said it, because it's in that world of that thing.
It sounds,
and you wouldn't like it,
I'm sure. Below Deck. It sounds like it just has that. That's what it sounded like.
That's what it is. But it's all like kind of manufactured or poked at, what's the word I'm looking for when the producers are like, hey, she said something bad about you.
Manufactured drama.
Yeah, kind of half manufactured, but half like goosed. Like, you should go talk to her. That was bullshit.
Oh,
that kind of thing. And Alone is great. I'm a big fan of that. And when you get to those last couple episodes, it's kind of heartbreaking that somebody has to go, and especially when it's about health, and like you may die if you don't, and they're like, I was doing so well, and and it's like, we can't risk your organs shutting down, and but man, it's I've really enjoyed that show, and I won't give anything away, but I don't know. I can't remember which series, but the one where it's the they kind of rejiggered the premise so that you had to stay for 100 days. Was that it?
I don't know. Wow.
It's one of the later series.
But this is of Alone.
Of Alone, yeah. So you have to stay. There's no if everyone taps out, they will not come get you like they do in the other series where you just wait and wait and wait. And sometimes, you just have to go, or no, maybe it's just being the last. No, that's what it, I'm sorry. I think it's 100 days and people leave, and they don't know if everyone's gone, because if everyone's gone and I don't forget it. It's a really good one. Sorry. I only have half the information. I apologize. But Alone is great.
All right. I was about to speculate, but it's not even worth it.
No, you should. It's called something like the $100,000 challenge or the 100-day challenge. This series, the year they did it was like 3-4 years ago.
But it's Alone. It's not a different show.
No, it's Alone. Yeah, and it's really good. And
it's a completely compelling show. You're watching people with actual skill, which is also, that's what I liked about. Oh my God, can't believe it. Project Runway.
Oh, I never watched that.
It was great. I really liked it because you're really seeing some talented people with plenty of skill. I loved Tim Gunn.
Yep.
I always enjoyed him.
And are you a Top Chef person?
Not regularly. Not
I
too
like
much.
Top Chef.
Also a good show.
Yeah.
Also great to watch people with actual skill. I really liked. Did you ever see? Oh, what was it called? It was Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman's show. It was about crafting.
I didn't, but I know what you're talking about.
It was great.
Yeah.
Also some very talented people. I don't watch shows religiously, and I haven't watched a scripted show in a while. I know there's a lot of good ones, but I just haven't watched one.
Great ones. Severance is
I heard Severance
amazing.
is great. I never saw Succession, which I know people love.
It's great. Really good. Really, really good.
I don't know why I'm so terrible about watching shows. I watch a lot of sports.
Yeah, me too. But there's like some downtime, unless what are you're like more of a basketball guy?
I kind of like I like soccer. I was watching a lot. My son he's a freshman in college now.
Wow,
which is crazy.
That's crazy.
It's pretty strange. That was the biggest. His last week of high school. That week was one of the biggest mind fucks I've ever experienced. Just all of a sudden to have that moment, just be here.
I remember Bob described dropping his daughter off at, which is, he's got 2 kids. Aaron's the youngest, and dropping her off at college and driving away bawling.
We had a thing. in some ways, I'm thankful for it. It was very funny when we dropped Nathan at school.
Where'd he go? Where's he going?
He's in Chicago at Columbia College.
Okay.
We went to Chicago and for me, I really did not anticipate him going away. I thought he was going to stay here, go to a CUNY, which is, he had looked at a bunch, got into a few of them. And then they went to Columbia to look at it, and he and Leslie, and he just loved it. And he really liked Chicago.
Chicago's great.
Chicago is awesome.
And you're away from home, but you're not too far away from home. And it's kind of a perfect sitch for
and he
kid.
wanted that.
Yeah.
He wanted, and I didn't really realize how much. And maybe I don't know if even he did until he went to look at the school. And they looked at a few other schools outside of the city, and that one just really resonated for him. I think he liked a city school as opposed to a more like rural campus.
Yep.
But the two things that were, that week leading up to high school or his graduation was just, you remember that, the old video, the Yes, Owner of a Lonely Heart? Remember that video? There's scenes where they come in and they're grabbing the guy and they're taking him out of his office, and he keeps having those like he's getting shocked.
I don't remember.
He had these physical spasms.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was having those moments over and over and over again. I'd just be walking my dog and then just oh my God, just that it's, holy shit, this moment is here.
What's happened to my life?
Yeah, it's
I can't get it back. I cannot get it back. I'm done. There's no reason to live anymore.
I walked to a bridge. I contemplated jumping. My dog looked at me.
Wait, I know where you live. Which bridge?
It was an archway in Prospect Park. It wasn't one of the
you didn't want to kill yourself. You just wanted to break your wrist or something.
Yeah, just hurt myself so I could have an excuse to feel bad. But I did have a lot of I was on a bike ride once in the park that week, and I had to pull over and just get off my bike because I was crying so hard. But when we dropped him at school, this I thought was very funny. So we said goodbye, and it was kind of not a very well-planned moment where we were just going from the street to say goodbye, and then he walked back to his dorm, and we got in the Uber to go to the airport. And I kind of, hindsight, or wish we had maybe just said goodbye and then went up to the hotel room for a minute just so we could have that sob.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're just in this minivan with a driver, and Freddie's with us, and I'm not sure.
Freddie must be what?
She's 13.
13. Okay.
She just turned 13. So, to have two teenagers is also strange. But we get we say goodbye to Nate. Leslie and I are both just, muffled, trying not to just explode with crying in front of this stranger in his minivan. And I don't know
I'm
if
sure he's used to it.
I guess, just people getting in the car and crying.
Well, if they're dropping... Oh, he's not part of a shuttle. He's just...
No,
I got you.
We called an Uber.
I got you.
And he had his GPS turned up, and I don't know, he was Asian, and so his GPS was speaking.
That's difficult.
But it was so loud.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably maximum volume, and every turn was screaming loud in, I think, Chinese, and it made me laugh so hard. It just broke the tension and I was in the front seat, and I'm just trying,
right,
just trying not to scream, cry, and then just this screaming from his phone, and it just made me laugh so hard. But then we went from there to Michigan. This was actually 2 back-to-back heavy-duty weeks of dropping my son at college and then flying right to Michigan for a short visit for Leslie and Freddie, and then they went home, and I stuck around to help my stepmom basically finish packing her house because she was moving since my dad died, which was 8 years prior. So that was 2 very intense weeks, just intense emotions, and was pretty wild. But I remember just when we got to my mom's that day after dropping Nate, and my mom's house is, tchotchkes everywhere and photos everywhere. And of course, tons of photos of Nate as a baby. And I just sobbed. I just lost it. And I'd been losing it all
and
summer.
How was Freddie during all this? Understanding, or did she feel the same way? Or
she was rolling with it pretty well. She wasn't emotionally upset, or I think it was a little strange.
She's a smart
just
kid.
'cause-
Jeez.
well, I had to be very mindful. I mean, I'm a real crier. One of my favorite memories of our wedding was just giving a speech and starting to get emotional. And I think it was Bobby Tisdale started a cry, 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 cry chant. And I really had to be mindful of not constantly sobbing in front of Nate. Not that I don't mind. I don't have a problem crying in front of him, but the amount
Right.
that I was crying, like leading up to his graduation, and the intensity of it. I mean,
It also dehydrates you, and then you get cranky, you get headaches.
well, I told them I would say that while
Do you take
I was
salt
crying.
pills?
I'm just so you know, this is dehydrating me, which will make me extra cranky later. I took salt tablets while I was crying.
Okay.
I recommend that for any parents of future collegiate human beings.
I mean, I've
hydrate
heard.
and have salt tablets when you drop
and
your
Molly,
child.
a little bit of Molly will kind of right the ship, as it were.
Yeah, just, you know, and I would really I would take the year leading up to that moment and get your dosage right, experiment, really get it dialed in and tuned in.
How do you reach that emotion? I know you're an actor, but how do you reach that emotional level like a year prior? How do you get there?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, just start experimenting with. I'm just specifically talking about if you're going to do Molly in that moment.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought you meant with the salt pills and all that stuff.
Oh, no. I just was going off you saying Molly. I'm like, just, get it dialed in before you don't just start doing it that week.
I'm okay. Got it. I understand. Yeah. So you got to.
But same thing with the hydration. Get that dialed in.
It's going to be expensive because you got to get a good supply because you're going to be experimenting with it, and you need to know your dosage, and every batch is going to be different. So you have to kind of get a month's worth, like 12 times to start with and go, okay, this is just if you get lucky.
Yeah. And I would also,
if you don't get lucky.
Well, listen, I mean, it's a lot of trial and error. I'd also recommend getting a dog, long walks in the woods with the dog. Then you can experiment with the drugs. And
what woods do you go to?
I live near Prospect Park in Brooklyn, and I do spend a ton of time in there with my dog. Long walks, trail runs, hikes. It's the best.
Is your dog like yourself? Does your dog have a lot of gear? Like when you go out running, hit the trail, like $2,000 worth of outerwear, Patagonia stuff?
He has a good harness. He has a good winter coat. I actually was thinking of getting him some booties.
Sure.
We used to have those for our old dog. Not the rubber, the balloon ones. You
those
ever seen those?
They'll chew them right off too.
They're not durable, and then you're throwing them away. Yeah. But I did think about getting him some, like some trail booties he's had some abrasions in the sand, like running on the beach, the webbing between his.
Do you take him to Dog Beach?
No. Do you know there's that little dog beach in Prospect Park?
That's what I was talking about.
No, just that water just seems nasty and filthy, and there's always signs like
my old
algae.
dog used to love it.
Really?
Yeah, and there's geese just beyond the fence, so the dogs kind of have something to freak out about. You know what happened this morning? I've never seen this before, ever, really. I had taken our new dog to the dog run that's down on Pacific. It's the closest one to me. And there was a dog I hadn't seen before. I don't know what kind, but kind of husky-ish with Max Scherzer eyes. One blue, one like green or whatever.
Side note, I saw Max Scherzer throw a no-hitter.
Did you?
At Citi Field against the Mets.
Wow.
It was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure. I saw a no-hitter, but it was where it was like a three-man no-hitter, so it was not quite the same thing. But yeah, it's very cool.
This was incredible. And like I was with my son, his buddy, and the buddy's dad who's not into sports, none of them gave a shit. And I was like, you got, and then the whole drive home, do you guys realize what you saw, what we just saw?
Yeah.
And they just did not care.
Oh,
like
that's
17 strikeouts.
It's
it was
infuriating. It really is. If I can't, like, I remember when Amber and I were living in Dumbo, and it was what year? 2015, maybe? NFC Championship where Atlanta and San Francisco, and it came down to like the last throw, and Tony Gonzalez, that's a while ago, Tony Gonzalez was their tight end, and they would have won the game or pulled ahead with like mere seconds left, won the game, but something happened. It was Matt Ryan to Tony Gonzalez. Something happened. He didn't catch the ball. The ball wasn't caught, whatever, and they lost. And they didn't go to the Super Bowl. And I was really bummed out. And Amber just like so not mean, but just dismissive of it. Like, oh, come on, there's next year. Like, you don't understand how this works. They went to the Super Bowl once in 98. You know how long ago that was, and got smoked. And they may not go again. You can live a lifetime and they don't go.
I've been dealing with that this last month.
Oh, Detroit
with the Lions.
Oh yeah,
because of last year, where it felt like that NFC Championship game, like they're going to the Super Bowl. I can't fucking believe it. And then they blew it. And then this year seemed like a lock. Oh man, just still like the defense was decimated.
Yeah.
You're watching and like I couldn't even believe they kept winning.
Yeah.
As many games as they did, which felt like, oh, maybe they're still going to do well.
Well, when they beat Minnesota, that was where it felt like, okay, this is the team.
It felt hopeful. You mean the last game of the season?
Yeah.
It felt hopeful, but it still felt like, because they had just lost to Buffalo, although it was close, but it was all the offense. Like they had no defense. Yeah. Even the Minnesota game, it felt like, but then I think the next week, Minnesota game showed up. Minnesota maybe was kind of not that good, or who knows, but it was such a...
Well, a lot of it was coaching too,
Yeah, and listen, I love Dan Campbell. There's still like, and it sucks because now people are going to be like, see?
Yeah.
But there was a couple plays in that Washington game where it's like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. And then they lost their coordinators. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about it. Sorry I brought it up.
I think, I don't know this for sure. I'll have to ask her.
Sorry, I brought it up for myself. Anyway, go ahead.
I think when Amber and I were just started going out, and I don't think she ever anticipated getting involved to the point of marriage and a family with a person who was so into sports. I think that's like, and she's come around for sure, and Marlo collects baseball cards now. When I say God, collects, I mean she.
How old is she now?
She will be 8 on Saturday.
I was going to say 8.
Yeah,
I should have said it before you did.
I should have said it, and it was said, nope, almost, not quite. But by the time this goes out, she'll be 8. And when I say collect baseball cards, she doesn't. She's just gotten into the design of it and opening the cards, which is the baby steps. I'm thrilled. I think that's great. And I've taken her to Liberty games because we're down the street, and those games are. Have you seen a Liberty game?
Not in person. I cannot believe we haven't taken Freddie yet. I know.
I mean, I've been to a million different, every
million.
Sport. No, all right. I've been to. I'm going to say
100,000.
I'm going to say 700,020 different sporting events of all different sports, multiple times. And those Liberty games are just so much fun. So the team is great. And it's just the vibe is fucking great.
It's awesome.
It's great. You should definitely, I can't take Nate there. It blew that. Freddie, take Freddie. Take Freddie down there, and I'm telling you, it's so much fun, and it's got that. Have you ever been to like a single A minor league baseball game where it's just constant stimulation
There's
because
it's
just music and giveaways. There's no doubt. There's never a time where you're, ding, 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 ding. All right, we're gonna give away a team, whatever.
Yeah,
because the teams aren't very good, and
Jesus,
it's got it's got a little bit of that vibe where there's constantly.
You're talking about the minor league teams or the?
I'm talking about the Liberty games. But in a good way, like there's a DJ and there's,
But the teams are good.
The teams are very good. Yeah. I mean, some of the team, that championship series was fucking awesome.
It was really good.
It was really, really good. And Marla got to take a picture with Ellie, the elephant mascot. And, it was great. I mean, we've been I think we went to 5 games maybe. And it's just great every time. And the fact that you can just walk there and walk home.
I know. It's, I took Nate to, he likes the Nets. We went to a bunch of Nets games and it's fun to be able to walk. I like walking to the stadium, which also feels like Chicago now that he's there. Sure. And he's really gotten out on his own and just exploring the city, and he loves sports. So early on, he called me, FaceTimed me, and he was just right outside Wrigley.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun. And he just did a sports tour on his own, just rented a city bike or whatever they have in Chicago and rode all around. And it was pretty cool. I always like that personally. When I'm on the road somewhere or traveling, I like to go to a stadium and I just like to see games or even just
I did when I was on tour. I had a day off in Milwaukee and I walked from my shitty garbage hotel down and ending up on part of it was on an expressway. I think I took a wrong, but I could see the stadium. I could see, was it Miller Field or whatever it is?
I think so.
And it's great. It's a great park. Went to an Astros game in Houston when I was there. Rockies game when I was in Denver. So yeah, I try to do that. If I have a day off or if I find I have time, then I go down there and see a game.
I was in Toronto last year for a couple weeks on a job, and I had a lot of downtime. And I went to, do you know who the Marlies are? The Toronto Marlies?
No.
It's I think it's just the Maple Leafs minor league team, but they have their own. They play in a smaller stadium. It's real. I think it's just Coca-Cola Arena or whatever, but it's a really cool old stadium, small, like a barn, a hockey barn.
Coca-Cola in Canada?
I don't know. I guess. Huh. I think it was called Coca-Cola Arena,
or maybe it was Coca-Cola, the way to get around the trademark infringement.
I think it was just Coca-Cola.
Company Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Coca-Cola. And it'd be a chant.
Coca-Cola. Koala Cola. Now we're getting back to the fun sodas names.
That's right. We brought it around full circle. It's too early to wrap up the show, unfortunately.
How much longer are we supposed to go?
About an hour 20.
Let's just...
Yeah.
No
but we
more,
can cut
no
it
more
down.
Talking.
We'll cut it down to 58 minutes.
So I went to, but there,
Chris lose all the stuff about sports, all of it.
I went to they do a lot of day games in the middle of the week, and it must be for school trips and things. But I was just there, and I wanted to see a hockey game, and it was fun to go see I like seeing minor league sports, and
sure, yeah. And
I went by myself.
AAA is fun, always.
I've seen a couple AAA games. You ever go to the Cyclones games, the Brooklyn?
Yep.
You ever
go to Marlowe there, yeah.
I haven't seen a Staten Island Yankees game, and I heard that's pretty fun because you can see the city and the backdrop.
Well, Cyclones is cool because you see Luna Park and
awesome.
And all the boardwalk and all that stuff. It's great.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah. And there's that weird... The mascot is like a king, but not a king.
I know. What's his...
He wears a crown.
Yes.
But he's in a regular, pink suit. He's not like Burger King.
It's not Burger King. It's almost... And it's not King Vitamin. You remember that cereal?
Yes, I do.
He's got a King Vitamin type crown. God, what the fuck is his name?
But he dresses like a car salesman.
Yeah, and he's kind of like a big guy.
Yeah,
he's loud.
Yeah, really loud. Oh, and then the gay dancers that come out on the dugout. And they have they have the gay cheerleaders kind of squad that will hang out on the top of the dugout.
Male or female gay cheerleaders? And how do you know they're gay? Is it is that?
I've just,
that your
60 years of experience.
Wow.
Is
that your gaydar? 60 years of experience. Never wrong.
If I get hard, it means they're gay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I gauge it. Like this one guy, very fey with, like just not quite drag, but kind of getting there. And I got a huge hard on. So I'm like, that dude is gay.
You ever come?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
Constantly. At the game.
Yeah.
And then how do you deal with that? Do you go to the bathroom and clean up? Do you wait till you get home? Do you wear Depends?
I'm literally inside my popcorn box. I have it fitted, and
so you have a popcorn.
Then I feed that popcorn to the pigeons.
And
that's why if you ever see a little pigeon that looks like me.
So wait, just because they ingest?
Yeah, yes.
That's how they would get pregnant, is from ingesting your jizz-covered popcorn?
Well, I wouldn't say covered, but thank you. It's
jizzled.
Yeah,
a drizzle of jizz.
Yeah, I get it. You don't have to explain the fucking joke.
I'm explaining to the listeners that might not have gotten it. I have very
smart, savvy listeners.
No question about it. That was for the one that is not so savvy. That's maybe like, let me give this podcast.
Darren.
Let me give this podcast a shot today and see what it's all about. And then they got jizzled popcorn.
And they don't understand what it means.
Thankfully, he explained it. And then the one guy said jizzled, and the other guy said don't explain it. But I was glad he explained it. Personally.
Can you imagine if I had to ask people now that I know what it is? Oh.
And this is the other thing about my Magellan is that when your conversation gets off, hey, your conversation is, you got off course, bring it back. But listen, sometimes that's part of the adventure of circumnavigating the globe.
Right.
The globe of life is that, where do we start? Where do we finish?
Where do we start? And where do we finish?
Jizzled corn. It's not where you start, it's where you finish.
The only popcorn with cum on it.
The only popcorn that will get a pigeon pregnant. A pregnante.
Well, pregnant doesn't have an E at the end.
Well, hey, you know what? I made it have an E on the end.
I don't know that you made it. You just sort of did it.
Yeah, I made it. Just like you made a pigeon baby.
Right. Well, it took two to do that. Me and the pigeon.
That's true.
Do you remember the dog at the very end of the remake of Body Snatchers? The one with
I don't know.
Donald Sutherland?
I remember the original, not the remake. The original dog was fucking terrifying.
Yeah, they do it in the remake too. It's just better effects.
But don't you think sometimes when it's like in The Thing, when the effects are not as quote unquote good, that it's scarier sometimes?
Sure.
Or more disturbing?
I love The Thing.
Oh my God.
I think that's his best film, if you ask me.
But that stuff, like when those effects are kind of shitty, I find it scarier at times. And that one, I haven't seen.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
The Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake. I didn't even know.
Oh, this was, you might.
Are you talking about, is the Donald Sutherland one the remake?
Yes.
Was there one before that?
Yes, there's one before it. Yeah. Oh. That's what I was realizing as you're saying that. No, they didn't remake it, but that's
so you're talking about the dog from the Donald Sutherland. Yes. Oh yeah, that one is fucking terrifying. Creepy as fucking hell, man.
Very creepy.
Really good though. Oh my God.
Because the face kind of fits. It's like a Brussels Griffin type of dog, and the faces kind of fits that kind of dog.
Oh, God damn it! I want to look it up right now, but I won't.
It's pretty creepy.
It's so creepy. Yeah. I do. It's a very disturbing, scary. Yes.
Yeah.
And that, all I'm thinking now is then I want to run home and snuggle my dog. Just give me that fucking look that you're giving me right now. What kind of dog do you guys have?
Here's what I like is that I bet all the listeners can imagine the look I was giving you. It's not difficult.
I wish you could have people calling in right now. Caller, tell us what the look was. What kind of dog did you guys get?
We got a Bernedoodle because we had to get a hypoallergenic. No, I'm actually with you.
That was more of a cute noise, not a judgmental noise. That being said, yeah, ugh. Fuck you.
Well, Amber is allergic to a lot of dander, and so a lot of different dander. But so we had to get a hypoallergenic dog. I would never, ever, ever get a bred dog. And Ollie was a rescue. Dog before that was a rescue, and I would get a rescue dog. And our dog's awesome. And you know, she's huge. I mean, sometimes they're bigger. She's in the middle, but that's a big dog. And you know, she's only 14 months, but she's got to be 65 pounds at this point. It's big.
Oh.
And just a big, dumb, muppety, like snuffleupagus type of dog. Doesn't, you know, it's still puppy energy and puppy. Mm-hmm. So, like, will, you know, knock you over trying to play. Anyway.
Our downstairs neighbors have a doodle.
Yeah.
And its name is Leo. The husband is Italian. So it's not Leo, it's Leo.
Leo. Yeah.
Hey. Maybe I'll tell him about Magellan.
Yeah, see if he can hook you up with some of his fellow Italians.
Do you know about Pizza Secret? You guys ever have that?
Pizza Secret.
I know. The face you made is the perfect reaction. That's another face.
What I don't know. That one I'm not aware of the face.
But you just looked like the annoyance at the name. Pizza Secret. So we asked this guy, his name is Paolo, and we asked him like, hey, what's your favorite pizza in the neighborhood? And he said Pizza Secret. And we had heard it's in Park Slope on Fifth Avenue, closer to you guys. It's not far from Atlantic.
Really?
I'd never heard of it. Maybe we'd seen it, and I just thought,
oh, wait a minute. I think it's right on the corner. It's literally and it's like kind of a yellow black sign. I think I know what it is. Is it on the? I think
so. It's like near Bergen or Dean.
Yeah, and it's on the west side.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's on a corner. It's a corner shop. Yeah.
And so that he said that was his favorite.
Okay.
And we just thought, all right, I guess we'll try it. We had probably heard of it. I think it just, you know, one of those terrible sounding names.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly good.
Really?
It's that, I guess, is it the brick oven, like thin crust pizza.
Oh, like Connecticut, New Haven style? Or like Lombardi's, or
not like Lombardi's, more
because they're coal oven. So I'm thinking of Frank Pepe's in New Haven and Sal's Pizza.
I think You ever go to Franny's when that was around on Flatbush?
I didn't.
Very just like thin, thicker crust though at the base, not the base, like like Neapolitan without. I don't fucking know.
Neapolitan has got a kind of a softer, chewier bread that's really kind of tangy and delicious.
Then maybe it's that.
Oh, okay. So it's not like crispy.
No.
Okay, then it's Neapolitan, yeah.
It's delicious.
Okay.
It's so good. But it was one of those things where we had never tried it because of the name. And now every time we get it, I just think about, I think it's Sticks. Is it Mr. Roboto? Secret, I've got to see. Yes. And every time we order it, and I get the box and I'm like eating it, and all I have in my head is Pizza Secret, I've got to see.
Thanks for
Pizza
putting that
Secret.
In my head. Have you been to Pauly G's in Greenpoint?
No.
That's really good. That's
Pauly G's?
Pauly G's, yeah. It's good.
Is it close to Black Rabbit?
It's not too far. It's not right next but yeah, near.
I guess everything's not that far from you.
Yeah, I mean Greenpoint is only so big, but and I'm a big fan of the grandma slice at Home Slice, which I I don't think I've ever had a grandma
Where's Home
slice.
Slice?
Home Slice is on Vanderbilt, and like between Pacific and Dean.
I thought you were about to say Pistachio.
No,
Is
that's
there
not a street.
Is there a street in New York? There must be a Pistachio Street.
Why do you say that?
It just doesn't seem that far-fetched in New York City that one of probably a million streets would be called Pistachio. Just seems like a fun name for a street that someone would have coined in the history of New York.
I'm going to guess there isn't.
Pistachio Street. I wish, do you look stuff up? Is that part of your services while you're...
Sure, yeah, I can do that.
I would love to find out just like Pistachio Street, New York City.
Okay.
Well, you know, there are the fruit streets in Brooklyn Heights, right? There's pineapple, cranberry, and what's the other one? Orange, maybe?
Is there an orange street? No way.
No.
That
I don't
one
know.
I'll say no.
There's pineapple, there's
Pineapple I've seen.
cranberry.
I don't know if I've seen cranberry.
It's right, and they're the next to each other.
Pineapple, cranberry.
Craisin. There's Craisin.
Oh, man. You ever heard of a Fraggle?
Ugh, no. Wait, let me guess. So it's half bagel, half French toast? No,
Ugh, no. It's basically just like a cinnamon raisin type bagel.
Why do they call it a Fraggle?
I don't know. I'd have to look up.
Oh, I thought it was like a cronut where it's like half donut, half croissant. I thought that's where you were going. So I was like, a Fraggle would be a French toast bagel.
I can't believe I don't know. I think I don't know. There must be a reason, and I don't know what it is.
You know what?
Delicious, though.
I really don't like. I've never had it, but the idea of it, the bagel hot dog, seems like a terrible idea to me.
It sounds awful.
They're just too. I like both of those things separately, but
I don't even know.
They make them. It's like, a bagel. It's bagel dough.
So is it a hot dog shaped bun?
Yeah. It's a hot dog shaped bagel. No.
Because that I almost like the idea of like
if the hot dog was inside in a circle.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Like a circular hot dog. God, is that a thing? A circular hot dog?
No, but somebody will make it.
Oh my God. How about let's us make it?
Bagel dog.
Bagel dogs. Here's the thing. And listen, if you're listening, don't try to steal this idea because we're already David right now. You can't see this, but he's texting his patent lawyer.
Yeah.
I'm looking over his phone. Don't get the copyright now. Good.
Yeah.
You spelled circular wrong.
Wait.
So we're going to copyright circular bagels.
How do you spell it? CUKRKLURLLAR.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
that's what I got.
I was reading it wrong. My bad.
You probably saw auto corrected.
My bad.
Yeah.
And also,
do you know
I was going to say
supposedly came up with why we say my bad?
No.
Dikembe Mutombo. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
Really?
Yeah. You would say my bad. His English wasn't, perfect.
My bad.
I don't think he was a monster.
Well, he had a very gravelly voice.
Well, it was deep. It was baritone, but
also wasn't kind of. I know
was he a pirate?
Yes, Dikembe the pirate.
I don't know.
The basketball. Yeah, they had they had a really good. There was a pirate basketball league.
Oh shit!
That's where he got discovered.
Yeah. Do you know there's a I only know this because of when Marlo was like 3. There's a subgenre of music that's pirate rock. Not yacht rock, pirate rock.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
Yes, but it's kind of metal-ish.
Oh.
And it's
I was about to go jizz-covered popcorn, yo ho ho.
That sounds like you're making fun of me.
I'm not.
Okay. Because it sounds like you are.
I'm not. I'm adding to it. I'm laughing with you.
Oh, I wasn't laughing, though.
What's that?
I said I wasn't laughing, though.
Somebody was.
That may be, but there's only 3 people in this room. And
what if the Impractical Jokers came running in right now? Just gotcha, but then it would be a joke on you.
I would say that's not very funny or clever or interesting.
All right, well, we still got you.
I don't see how you got me. I'm sorry.
let me see if I can explain this. So we got you. I don't even want to go down that road anymore. This bit over. There should be a bit bot. Bit bot just comes in. Bit bot ending bit. Bit bot. What are you doing? What was it? This is a hard tangent. Is a Blumpy when you get a blowjob while taking a shit?
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
also a sandwich chain in outside of Buffalo.
Blumpies?
Yeah.
And they're aware that it's did they start, which came first?
Literally both at the same exact time. So
one guy was getting a Blumpy and was like eating a sandwich while getting a Blumpy?
No, they were close. So the guy starts making the sandwich.
Right.
This one guy. There's two guys. One guy starts making the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, hey, man, give me, I want like a Italian, but, whatever's in the fridge. Use whatever's in the fridge. So the guy creates a sandwich, which is legit good, using the stuff that's in the fridge.
Just in the fridge.
And then, so the guy's making the sandwich while the guy's taking a dump. He comes in to give the guy a sandwich.
A different guy taking a shit?
Yeah.
Or the guy making the sandwich?
Two different guys.
So the guy making the sandwich is making the sandwich for the guy taking a shit?
Yes. And he comes in.
Is that a restaurant? Someone's house?
He's at a restaurant. And it's one of those, it's
very quickly, so did the guy come into the restaurant? He's like, just make me a sandwich. And then ran, like, did he have to take a shit? But he wanted to put his order in first?
He put the order in so he could use the bathroom.
Got it.
So I think, as legend has it, he wasn't even intending. He was going to try to slip out. He just needed to use the bathroom, and he didn't want to look.
And he was like, just whatever's in the fridge.
Yeah, whatever's in the fridge, exactly. And so, and the thing about this restaurant, it was a soft opening, so it didn't even have a name yet, was the guy had brought his own fridge.
And if I remember, the fridge is like, you can see the fridge. It's right there.
Yeah. But it's his fridge. It's his own fridge. Anyway, runs in, guy makes a sandwich, again, utilizing whatever he's got in there, and then goes to give the guy the sandwich, because that was, their slogan was, we'll give you your sandwich wherever you are, no matter what.
No matter what.
And that was the slogan out on the top of that. They were thinking of naming the restaurant that.
No matter
what. But it got a little bit, is too wordy. But it's still their slogan. And so the guy's taking it up, goes in, here's your sandwich. Thank you so much. Can I help you out with that? The guy thinks he means a sandwich.
Right.
And he's like, sure. The other guy who's made the sandwich starts blowing him.
Okay.
And the sound that his ass made when he was taking the dump and his mouth made when he was coming was Blumpy.
Really? So,
as I understand it.
As you understand it.
The history of Blumpies.
That to me sounds 100% plausible.
Yeah. Well, crazier things have happened.
Well, what I was getting at with Blumpy, it doesn't matter. We're too far past it. Although now that I brought it up, I should probably just tell it. Like with BitBot. Do you know Tommy Blacha?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He had an idea of just like of a robot called Blumpy that would just come in and do what this sandwich guy did and just constantly come in and try to suck. If you were in the bathroom, it would just immediately, it would detect you're in the bathroom and immediately come in and try to suck your dick. And it was all, Blumpy, no! And it was really a super strong, small.
Yeah.
Almost like a Staffy, like a Staffordshire pit bull. Small, but strong, stocky.
Well, how is it going to?
And the mouth was just like, just super fucking powerful.
But how would he get, if you're, I don't know what your position is when you take a dump, but I don't know if that your penis would be that accessible to a robot.
Well, you are assuming this robot can't, it'll make it accessible.
Adapt.
It's
malleable.
It's brute force. It'll put you in the position it needs you to be in.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Scary.
It's pretty fucking brutal.
And how much does it cost?
Oh man, I think it was like 57 grand.
57 grand
Yeah.
for a thing that you're ultimately going, stop, don't do that one thing you're supposed to do. Why did I spend 57 grand on a thing that I don't want it to do the one thing it's supposed to do?
I think that's part of it. If it's for a very specific type of person. If you are intentional, like maybe you do want it, but that's part of the game. Is like, oh my God, get out of here. Don't do that.
Right, of course.
Blumpy, no.
Right.
Blumpy.
Plus, if it only costs like a couple $100s to make, then you only need to sell a couple to make a good chunk of change.
Well, that's a different thing. That's the person who's making it. That's the manufacturer.
Yeah, I understand.
But it seemed like, I don't know where that came from, where we were talking about the person who buys it.
Well, it's part of the overall conversation. It's certainly a way that a conversation can travel.
It was a jarring shift.
I'm surprised you think it's jarring to talk about the person who's making Blumpy. Seems like it'd be part of the conversation, perhaps. It's not illogical to talk about the manufacturer.
It's not illogical. It was just a jarring shift where we were talking about the person, like we were talking about the person.
Have you ever seen any footage of the, I can't remember what year it was, the tsunami in 2000, was it 14? Okay,
You know,
that's
like
a jarring shift in the conversation.
Jet black
That's a jarring shift in the conversation.
is you talking about the tsunami?
Yeah. When we were talking about a robot that blows you while you're taking a dump.
I think they're both jarring in their own way. They're different. They're different versions of jarring. Now we're making noises. Beep, bop, boop.
John, do you have anything you want to plug?
Not that I can think of.
Any auditions coming up you want to plug?
Oh, God. No.
That'd be a weird thing.
Oh,
Plug your
man.
auditions. I've submitted some an audio for a VO for Meineke mufflers, and so look out for that if you are hiring. If you are one of the 4 people who are,
Was Meineke the muffler that went pay a little more now, or a lot more later?
I don't know.
I remember even as a kid thinking like, that's a really interesting,
Sure.
that you're not hiding behind the fact that this costs a lot. But they're leaning into it. It's like, well, it's like you get what you pay for. You can spend a little more now or a lot more later. I thought it was very smart.
It is.
And I'm pretty sure it was Meineke. Hold on very quickly. Pistachio Street, yes or no?
No, we don't have a Pistachio Street.
God damn it.
Can you see if there's any Pistachio Street, not just in America, but in any English-speaking country?
Pistachio Street.
Yeah. Thank you.
If there is not a Pistachio Street anywhere, I will go to that bridge in Prospect Park and jump off and try to hurt my ankle.
The archway.
The archway.
Yep.
Listen, if you ever want to do a dog walk, although I don't want to be seen with a doodle.
Yeah.
No, my friend, you know Adam Escott, yes? Maybe not?
Who?
Adam Escott?
No.
They have a doodle. We've taken some nice dog walks. If you ever want to do a dog walk in the park,
super goofy
it's the
dog.
best.
I mean, I
very
do.
Cute, very sweet.
Very sweet, really good watchdog. But it's just it's hard for me to say the word Bernedoodle.
I know.
And I really in that kind of kid way, or that feeling of like I have to qualify it each time. I had to get this. We had to get a Bernedoodle because my wife's allergic to.
Do you think you'll ever, with our dog whose name is Gatsby, we shelter dog rescue. Mm-hmm. We're not assholes. But he came with the name. Okay. And the kids really wanted to name him. And we actually thought about, what about like Ashby? Like something that sounded like Gatsby.
Like Hal Ashby.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just decided, no, that's going to be too confusing. But I would do the same thing you would do, like all these qualifiers. Like people would ask, what's his name?
Right.
And for me, it's just,
yeah,
Gatsby. It's not the book. We didn't name him after the book.
Well,
And
also,
I would do this long
let's-
spiel, and then I just stopped because, like, who gives a shit?
You're right. Who gives a shit? And I know that deep, deep
I just
down,
love him. Gatsby's so cute.
there is the thing about Park Slope, Brooklyn.
I know.
And we both have talked about it on stage, and there is that, young dad or mom or a dog park person specific to Brooklyn, or whatever that is cloying. And I mean, the names are, I mean, I can make some up and they all sound like they're legit names. And I could sprinkle in some real names that I've heard at the dog park.
Give me a few, and I'll try to guess if they're real or fake.
Okay. Tallulah.
Real.
Fake.
I've met a Tallulah at the
Are
dog
you
park.
serious?
Yes.
I believe it. I used to do a bit with like Tallulah
Yeah.
Bankhead, da-da-da.
I
stuff.
met a Tallulah,
Okay.
and I had a really,
Yes.
really great experience with Tallulah, where she was a little cute little dog. I don't know what kind.
Nothing
and
against the dog. It's just
very cute, but such a cutie and like kind of scared. And then the next time I saw them, a little closer.
Yeah.
And the next time, a little closer. And then like the fourth time, just running up to me, I almost started sobbing. It's like, we did a breakthrough. All right, Tallulah.
So Tallulah's fake, but also real.
Uh-huh. Your
Apollo.
Real.
Real.
There's got to be at least, yeah.
Persephone.
Fake.
Real.
Wow.
Yeah. It's either Persephone or Persephone. It's the one that is the.
Oh God.
I had to look it up. I was in the dog park and I looked it up. It's
That's infuriating.
It's a Roman or Greek god, a goddess or the daughter of somebody who had something to do with Hades or something like that.
Oh man.
Real one. Okay. Well, this is going to give it away. But what was the one I heard? Oh God, it was great. Oh, Gretchen.
Gretchen.
Yeah,
So a real one.
that was a real one. But
There is a lot of, when we
Gretchen?
got Gatsby, I started doing, with our old dog, we never did off leash because she just was never socialized. We'd get in fights.
Mhm.
And it's been simultaneously the best to do off leash every morning in the park. And then it can be just so many
Oh,
annoying
yeah.
dog owners, so many annoying,
right.
but it's mostly the best. But there's a prosciutto that I've met, a little pug. Prosciutto, and it's so cute. But there's a lot of like monosyllabic male names. Phil,
Yeah.
Jim, Steve. I
Yeah.
was going to say Gary. That's 2 syllables, but that makes me laugh
Right.
so hard.
Because of that reason, just the idea that it's kind of specific and it's a woman's name. It's not anything else. It's not, Gretchen the Fantastic from
Gretchen.
a series. Gretchen.
Pretty funny.
It's
What
but
kind
it's-
of what
I
kind
don't
of
think it
dog?
was word. I don't remember. But
Gretchen.
but we're in the big dog run, so it wouldn't be a small dog. I know that. But
But I know what you mean.
Fitzwilly?
Fitzwilly? Is that one you've heard?
no, it's fake. I just made that up.
Yeah. Fitzwilly, that's pretty. Well, I was going to say, I've heard that there's a prosciutto, Wilma, which I love, another pug.
Mhm.
Trying to be the most annoying name I've heard in there.
And sometimes you get, occasionally you get a Mr. something. You get,
I don't know if I've heard one in there, but yeah, like Mr. Something something.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut or Mr. Whatever.
Mr. Peanut. I thought penis would be a funny. Penis! Come here, penis.
Well, when I
Penis,
got
no. Down. Drop it, penis.
I got when Sarah and I got Ollie,
Mhm.
our other older dog. The reason she was called Ollie Red Sox is because I just wanted to call the dog Red Sox, and Sarah's no, and so she was Ollie Red Sox. But it was so like I could be in the park with a bunch of people wearing Yankees gear, going, "Let's go Red Sox! Come on, Red Sox!" And then I also wanted to name a dog Jew. For real. It's like, let's go, Jew. And like, bad Jew. For real. These are real things I wanted to. So she was Ollie Red Sox, but it was mostly Ollie.
Ollie Red Sox. Ollie, what about you could have gone Ollie Jew Sox?
That's a bit of a
that's
mix,
too
and it
much.
doesn't really.
That's too much.
Yeah, it ruins both things. John, I want to go. I've got errands to do.
Okay.
So, I end every episode with a question from my daughter.
Okay.
And here is today's question for you. And you can answer it in any way you see fit. John, why do metal things catch on fire in a microwave?
That is a really not. Does Marla listen to these?
She will at some
I
point.
think that's kind of fun. Like, hey,
Yeah.
That's a really great question. I don't know, and I've wondered that quite a bit. Is it? Do they catch on fire? Is that what happens?
I try to stay out of the
Got it.
the
Understood.
answer.
I don't know. I've wondered that myself. I've never wondered enough to look up the reason why or the answer why. So, I didn't know they would catch on fire. I thought it'd be something maybe about melting, or maybe it releases toxins into the. I don't know. I don't want to even hazard a guess or make up an answer. And I think there's also real strength in just saying, I don't know. That's my answer. Yeah. I don't know. All right, for those of you at home that can't see, David just got up. He sort of angrily shoved the microphone. You can hear that rustling off. He's putting his jacket on. He seems very angry. It's a loud sigh. Maybe you caught that off mic. He's got like a
See you next week.
copper. He's got a Fox backpack. He's leaving. Left the door open. Here's the thing. I actually do know why metal catches on fire in a microwave, and I just did not want to answer on purpose because I want Marlo.
Take a picture of you.
All right.
Get film?
Yeah, I think we did.
All right.
All right, we have to take a picture of you.
The end.
That was a Headgum podcast.